Hey guys, so tonight we're going to learn about the ancient China achievements. So, one of the first dynasties to have some achievements in ancient China was the Qin dynasty, and this is a dynasty that unified China. Um, I put the pronunciation of some of the names just to help you, but mostly to help me. Um, but Shi Huangdi made sure that all the people across China acted and thought the same way. So this created like the system of laws that applied equally to everyone. They also set up a new system of money and a unified system of writing. They built roads, canals, which made travel and trade a lot easier. Also, this is where the Great Wall was built, or the time it was built during, or at least started, because it took a very, very, very long time and a lot of people. There's a picture of it. Then you have the Han period. This is when art and literature really thrived and inventors developed many useful devices and a lot of stuff that we use today. So for art, this is where they became experts in figure painting. So think about like portraits and like pictures of people. A lot of them were found on the walls of tombs because they were very religious. It's also known for poetry. They developed the Fu style, which combined prose and poetry to make really long literary works. They also had the Shi style, which featured short lines of a verse that could be sung. Um, and then this is where also they had a complete history of all of the dynasties through the early part of this dynasty, and this became a model for later historical writings. So that's who wrote down all the history of all the dynasties, and then that's just a little bit of what the different poem styles look like. So they actually invented paper, which is really cool. They grinded plant fibers like mulberry bark and hemp into paste, and then they would paste it together to form a really long sheet so they could be rolled into a scroll. They also had sundials, so that tells you the time of day based on where the sun is and the shadow it creates. A seismograph, which measures the strength of an earthquake, and they thought earthquakes were signs of like future evil events. And then also acupuncture, so that's like when you see the pictures of those like long needles like sticking out of people. It's supposed to help like relieve pain and cure diseases or sickness. Um, They also had many of the greatest artists and poets of all time. Wen Daozi painted murals to celebrate Buddhism and nature. You had Libo and Dufu wrote poems that readers still enjoy today. And then the Song period produced Li Qingzhao, who is considered to be China's greatest female poet of all time. So again, there's some examples of the art and poems. They also had, through many of the different dynasties, really important inventions that we definitely use today, like wood blocking was kind of the very first like early printing system. There's a picture on the next slide for you to see that. Also gunpowder, which was used in guns and explosives. So they had originally just invented it to use it for fireworks, but then it later obviously caught on that it could be placed in a gun, and that really changed how wars were fought from then on, and also just like history in general. Also the compass, which we were using those when we were doing our Mapping Martin project. And then also later on from wood blocking they moved on to movable type, so this made the printing faster because you could then rearrange the letters instead of already having something carved into a wooden block. This was just little pieces, and you can move them around to make them say whatever you wanted to say as you were typing. So in the top left corner is the movable type. Next to it is their compass, and then in the bottom left is the gunpowder, and then next to that is the wood blocking. And then last but not least, two of the other really important inventions was paper money actually came from the Song Dynasty. They invented it and it was just lighter and easier to handle, so it helped them manage their wealth better. And then you also have porcelain, which some of your parents may have porcelain vases and plates and stuff that they tell you definitely not to touch. My mom still has stuff that she tells my sister and I not to touch, because it's very, very fragile. But they would also have these like great works of art on them. So you can see both of those there. All right, hopefully you enjoyed learning about ancient China's achievement and the fact that a lot of the stuff they invented we still use today. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.